It seems the Looney Tunes just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to their theatrical movies. I mean, Back in Action flopped so hard in 2003 that we didn't get another Looney Tunes film until Space Jam 2, which also was a box office bomb that had to be released during the pandemic and dumped onto HBO Max day one. Their next film, Coyote vs. Acme, got shelved by WB Discovery and turned into a tax write-off, sparking some pretty passionate online controversy. And meanwhile, an entire new Looney Tunes film is releasing in theaters and nobody seems to be aware of it. Like, does Warner Brothers even know this movie's coming out?
In 2025, they're coming to the big screen like never before.
Daffy. Oh, sorry.
The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I haven't seen a single ad or trailer for this thing. I go to the movies quite a bit, never saw a single preview. There's hardly any pre-release discussion about it. A Looney Tunes movie just showed up in theaters with almost zero marketing. Oh, I did see this poster for it when I went to go see The Brutalist, so now these two movies will occupy the same brain cell forever in my head.
They do not want us here.
Who do you mean?
The people here. They do not want us here.
Day one of this movie's release, every theater near me only had a few showings. It's so empty, I don't even think the cam rippers bothered to show up. I do it myself, but I couldn't do it in front of Nicole. So nobody seems to be watching this new Looney Tunes movie, but don't worry, I'll tell your story. Now, 3D animated movies before they became the standard felt like this event, a unique spectacle you had to tune in for. Now, all these years later, that's kind of flipped for me. We're seeing a straightforward 2D animated movie in theaters for the first time in what feels like forever. It feels beyond surreal and so refreshing. And beyond that, The Day the Earth Blew Up is really good. This is definitely going to be one of those movies that people look back on and say it deserved better. Yeah, it really does. Now, the last major Looney Tunes media I was really into was the 2011 series, and there are a few elements to this one that kind of evokes that in a good way. For starters, this movie sees Daffy and Porky not just as roommates, but brothers, raised under one roof by this deity named Farmer Jim, whose character is stylized as a painting. He basically looks like a close-up still from Ren and Stimpy and SpongeBob. There's fun gags about the difference in animation styles and Daffy and Porky's upbringing. Like, we get to find out how Porky got his stutter. The opening montage about their childhood is just so funny.
Can I go back to my room now?
I think what I really love about Porky and Daffy as a duo here is their bond is super endearing, and they're kind of characterized in a way we haven't really seen before while also still feeling authentic. It's kind of perfect. Like, Daffy as we know him is usually self-serving and a jerk, but here he's actually caring and well-meaning. He just can't help that he's, well, loony. Meanwhile, Porky here is unique in that he gets a little more aggressive and short-tempered than what we're used to. The animation here is consistently pretty good. There's one or two unique shifts in styles for some sequences and bits that I wasn't expecting, and it was a pleasant surprise. There's one really fun montage early on that evokes old Looney Tunes shorts, and we even get to see BBL Daffy, $3 billion at the box office. Usually jokes about modern trends kind of fall flat on their ass and make everyone's eyes roll. You know, jokes about Instagram and rideshare services. Here, they're just so faithfully loony and stupid, but also restrained enough that they work. They bring that good old classic Looney Tunes formula to the present day so well. There's so many funny bits, a couple of nice meta gags, one where we see like the silhouette of an audience member heckle the screen and get up and leave, and being that my showing was completely empty, I actually damn near shit myself. Petunia Pig, Porky's love interest, is in this, and I'm gonna be real, I totally forgot about this character before this movie. Like, she was in Looney Tunes shows I've watched, and I completely wiped any memory of her. I think for a lot of people, that's probably the same story. And she's basically treated as like an entirely brand new character here, and every moment with her and Porky is just so adorable, with them both being so smitten and stuttering at each other. And of course, a Looney Tunes movie needs a loony plot to meet it, and you have aliens trying to take over the world with this parasitic chewing gum symbiote that turns everyone into mindless drones. They do a whole takeover sequence set to the tune of End of the World by R.E.M. What is this, Chicken Little? Ironically, even with the apocalyptic premise, there's like this inherently cozy vibe to this movie and its pacing. It's loony, of course, but it doesn't ever veer into just being obnoxious like a lot of animated family flicks can be. I don't know, it kind of made me feel like I was back to being a kid watching a random movie on Cartoon Network at like 1 p.m. on a Sunday. There's so many funny moments, and it's genuinely sweet at times, and I think people are gonna appreciate this one as a nice, easy watch. Originally, The Day the Earth Blew Up was set to be dumped on HBO Max until Ketchup Entertainment, that's the actual name, picked up the distribution rights, granting this one a theatrical release. And let's face it, it's already hard to sell a 2D animated movie like this in an era of hyperactive brain rot Cocomelon movies. I have a really hard time envisioning this one being a box office success even if more money was pumped into its marketing. I mean, it easily would have done a lot better, sure, but the odds were always kind of stacked against it. For now, this one is practically going to be running on word of mouth alone, so spread the good word about the day the Earth blew up in all its glory. Looney Tunes historically have been tied to the movie theater experience, and getting to enjoy this one in that environment just felt so right.